Jimmy Dahmer.
I sleep like a creep.
It's Zenyatta.
What the fuck? How'd you do that?
You can click on the face and it'll let you upload a picture.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just didn't
cool.
have any files, or else I would have done it. It would be your opening statements, prosecutor.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, this fuck-ass defendant over here has been sucking my toes.
Hey, watch your language. This is
No.
court, not a jail cell. But you will end up in a jail cell if you do not watch your language.
That's why I said fuck-ass instead of what I wanted to say, Your Honor. I am self-censoring. This guy's just that much of a wackadoo. Okay.
Objection.
Stop it.
He said wackadoo. That should be held in contempt.
Fucking stop it. Shut up. Now, today I will be proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this fucking Zenyatta main over here has been sucking my toes while asleep like a creep. The first evidence that I have is that
Hold on,
this
we're
man...
in opening statement, sir.
It was my opening statement.
No, but the defense needs to get their opening statement out.
Well, the defense can wait their goddamn turn like a...
Defense?
The defense's opening statement is only gross people like toes, and people who think their toes are being sucked in their sleep have clearly been infatuated with the slobbery wetness that is a toe sucking. I think.
Objection.
All right. First
I
evidence
believe that
going.
he... objection,
First
Your
evidence
Honor. He's victim blaming. I'd like to
Duly
put
noted.
forward some evidence here. The first of which would be the fact that I left this
Victim
fucking man
blaming.
on red when he asked me, "Can I be sucking them tootsies?" I said no, and then he said, "I'ma ignore that and do it anyway."
Objection, Your
And so
Honor.
then I ghosted him.
Objection.
Defense.
Can I have the board?
Oops, sorry. There we go.
Thank you.
I can't aim.
Objection, Your
I'm
Honor.
drunk.
These so-called red messages are simply from internet comments. Those cannot be handled under scrutiny under the court.
Your Honor, the account was his. It said, hashtag I'm
hold
a
on.
Zenyatta main.
Man learns a new use.
New use for Dojam.
Your Honor, that's the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Well, it's just yours. Your argument, sir.
My next piece of evidence is the fact that when I told this man that I was not down for some toe sucking, and he said that he would be on his way to do it anyway, he found out where I live, sent me my exact coordinates on Google Earth, and then he got this fake passport that he was going to use to cross international waters.
What is your evidence of the other things? I see the fake passport in evidence.
Judge, I
but
think
what is
the
the
defense
evidence of
having
the
a
other
stroke.
things?
The other things?
Yeah,
well,
I'll stop the stroke.
Here's a blurry photo in which he has his tongue out and is going, "Me about to get them doggies."
Objection. What does a blurry photo talking about doggies have to do with you specifically, prosecutor?
What it has to do with is the fact that he posted this shortly after he sent me my coordinates, and I asked him not to, and he said, "Don't worry, I'm just after that lonely pearl." I don't know what
I
that
am
means, but
unfamiliar
it
with
freaked
this
me out.
euphemism, prosecutor. May you explain what a pearl is in street lingo?
I'm not entirely sure what it means, but I think he's referring to my toe ring.
Do you have a pearl on your toe ring?
Yep. You know what I'm about.
Defense?
Defense would like to submit this electronic bracelet that the defendant has had around his ankle for the last 6 months that would have him monitored by the police. He has not, according to police record, left his house in the past several months.
What do you say to this damning piece of evidence, prosecutor?
I would say he has clearly not been in his house for months, seeing as he has currently a incredibly overfilled mailbox. He's clearly not checked his mail or attended to his home in quite some time.
Objection. This is due to the fact that he can't leave his house. How could you check your mailbox if you are stuck inside?
You're gonna tell me that when you are confined to your home, you're not allowed to leave the front door?
He is an apartment complex and under house arrest.
Yeah, he can still go downstairs to get his mail. You just can't leave the premises of the apartment complex. That's how it works, you idiot.
An apartment complex with multiple buildings. I would like to call my first witness.
How do I?
It'll be one of the X's.
Scroll the.
It'll tell you on your left side what it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Say it's what?
You did it.
So I've got like okay.
You have two X's. One of them is for passing it. There. Yeah, one is for submitting the witness. Now, witness, as you are his coworker, you know some semblance of his personal life, I assume. Yes.
Yes.
Now, has this man ever, under any circumstances, presented to you as one who would suck toes?
I mean, he is a little strange, but no, nothing about sucking toes. He's just into that vor shit.
Into vor. So, if I
Your
am...
Honor, what is the...
For the court, vor is when you swallowed whole. And you get off on that shit because you're a little too far gone.
Swallowing what? I'm sorry?
Swallowed the entire individual.
Not just the toes.
Like a snake?
Like a snake. Your Honor.
I feel like I need to almost guilty him to get him out of the streets.
I implore you to. It's mostly drawings because it's obviously not possible in real life, but I don't entirely disagree. However,
Your Honor,
would you like to continue to question your witness?
However, we are on trial for the exclusivity of sucking toes without permission. So,
would you like to keep questioning your witness?
My witness has claimed that the defendant is only into vor. That is correct.
Objection,
witness?
Your Honor. The defense is testifying.
I'm not testifying. I'm questioning.
You are.
I questioned. I finished with the question.
No, he's testifying.
Now you haven't asked a question in a solid minute.
He asked me one.
I asked him.
At the beginning, I need you
And
to
then he went on a tirade about why vor is okay.
I know.
Like a pervert.
Okay. Witness, would you confirm that this defendant is more into vor than he would be into sucking toes without permission?
Yes, I'd have to say so.
That is all for my examination of the witness, Your Honor.
Cross from the prosecution.
Now, Miss, you have said that this defendant is very much into vor, you would say, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, would you say that, given that vor, as the defense has said so eloquently, is not physically possible in real life, that somebody who is into vor may attempt to fulfill those desires in other manners?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Objection? Shut your ass up.
Sustained.
It's been sustained. I'm putting that down.
What other ways may a person who is into vor seek to fulfill those desires?
Oh, maybe try to suck on their hands, their head, their toes.
Oh, their toes, you say?
Breaking news. News, socks stop people from sucking toes. Oh.
Damn, I gotta get me some of them. To keep myself from this harlot.
You should have been wearing socks.
The judge would like to ask a question of the witness himself. What was your
Yes,
vocation again, ma'am?
I currently work at a strip club, but you know.
I didn't think strip. Like, what was the actual game thing for her?
He's a coworker.
Coworker. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Coworker. Who are you a coworker of?
I'm a coworker of the defendant.
Okay. Sorry. Trying to piece everything together. Yeah.
And what
And
job
I'm
at this
shoddy
strip
ass
club?
judge.
What job at this strip club does? Your Honor, I was in the middle of questioning it.
He can hear you. He was
Yeah, but he
being
can't say
mouthy.
shit. All right. Now, Miss, what job does the defendant fulfill at this strip club?
Well, he is a bouncer.
Oh, you don't say. Uh, so, a bouncer is, as a person working here at this strip club, who you have already said is a very much fan of vor, works in a location that would be often described as a hypersexualized environment.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. These women who work there are clearly just doing it to get through med school.
Now, I didn't say they weren't.
Granted. Be careful,
However,
prosecutor.
The actions they are engaging in are sexual of nature. That is sort of the point. Would you fucking... Fuck you. So, this man, who works in an extremely sexualized environment, who has a deep-set vor fetish, and as has been stated by this expert witness, is very much somebody who may engage in sucking toes as a manner to fulfill that vor fetish.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection. If I may.
Okay.
As we have
May
seen,
not.
we are, as it is very evident, we are all socks here, and as seen on the news article, socks prevent you from sucking toes. How can the prosecutor claim to both be a sock and yet be able to prevent you from sucking toes?
Now, I may be a sock, but I wasn't wearing none when the situation occurred.
Prosecutor,
Are
if
we
you,
And
done with
this
this
man
witness?
is not a sock, therefore, who the fuck knows what he may be up to?
Hey, order. Are we done with this witness?
I am done with this witness, Your Honor. I believe she has told us all we need to know.
Defense?
I am also done with the witness.
Alright, I need to figure out how to dismiss.
Just hit that same hammer again. Same thing. Like it was my witness, so.
Yeah.
One more time.
You have to do it when you're doing the, when it's on the pink for the witness.
Scroll one more time.
Your Honor.
I only have the guilty
One
and
more.
innocent ones.
Scroll one more.
There you go.
And
That.
blue and
got it.
pink.
That one.
You're
Yeah,
there you
and
go.
it, oh,
No, hit it one more time. There you go.
okay.
You have to hit the same color.
Now, I would
twice.
like to call forward my witness.
Objection. Compulsory evacuation device. Return target monster to its player's hand, removing the witness from the courtroom.
Your Honor, this is not a Magic the Gathering table. This is clearly,
Correct.
at the very
That is-
least, Hearthstone.
Correct. That is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Defense rests.
Prosecutors requesting their witness, huh?
Your
And this is
Now.
a detective, I believe.
Indeed. Now,
Amateur
Miss, could you
detective.
describe your profession for the court?
Yes, I'm currently just starting out as a detective. I've gotten many good leads, but no case
Yes.
solved.
And what case are you currently pursuing?
Well, at the moment, I've been looking into a certain strip club.
And
That
what have you
remains
found
unnamed.
here?
I've found evidence of certain sucklings.
Sucklings. Now that is interesting. Could you please elaborate for the court?
Yes. Well, I have found that someone at this particular strip club has been swallowing toes whole.
Swallowing toes whole, you say? And how might one accomplish such a task?
By digging down on them little piggies.
My God. Your Honor, I demand that the defendant be immediately sentenced to death.
Objection. There was no.
Defense, your witness.
Yeah, there was no evidence that it was directed towards my defendant.
Your Honor, I've already put forward all of my evidence as demanded by the defense.
Blood and spit mixture found backstage at strip club.
My God.
Now, witness, you say you're an amateur detective. How many cases have you worked on?
I've worked on 27.
And you've solved none, as previously stated.
Yes, sir.
And what makes you think you can solve this one?
Well, you know
So
what?
that
I'm
is
actually...
that is questioning this man's character.
It's not questioning their character. I'm questioning their motives.
Then
Their
you ask a
motive is
question
to
about
finally
motives.
solve a case, you
Now-
asshole.
Not
You're inspecting said strip club. Now, do you recognize the man across the room from me having participated in said strip club?
I do see many a people, and I do have to say he is one.
Now, and there was blood, as we've seen in the news. There is blood and saliva mixture. Now, could you tell me, what does that look like to you on the neck of that man across from me?
Well, sir, I'd have to say that looks like ketchup or blood.
Ketchup or blood? Now,
Yana, just because I am a messy eater, does
would
not
you
mean
say,
that I'm on trial here.
would you say that the he doth protest too much be a very
I
common
object to
saying?
this line of questioning. Leading the witness.
relevance.
Relevance. This is in.
I need you to get to a point soon, counselor.
We are there. We're almost there. Give me just two more questions.
No, we're not.
Give me two more questions.
No.
Granted.
Have you ever seen this man yearning for those stripper piggies?
Well, I don't know per se. I don't know exactly what yearning for piggies would look like, sir.
Fair enough. For more example, would you see him salivating at the stage, preferably or more frequently the lower part?
Frequently below a what?
Preferably at the lower part of the stage. When they're doing their performances, he's not looking at where most people are.
Well, yeah, he's normally looking at their hair.
At their hair. Interesting. Now, this particular hair wouldn't happen to be found at their feet, would it?
No, sir. I don't think I've ever seen any of the strippers have hairy toes.
Who said toes?
Except for Bob on Tuesdays.
I've been giving you a lot more leeway on these two questions.
That was my second question. That was question
Yana,
number two.
clearly this is going nowhere, and the defense is grasping at straws.
Grasping at
Trying to
straws.
assassinate my character.
Who said anything about you? The man-
You did when you keep asking about
there are
person
two.
across.
There are two men across from me. I can see two of them.
You're right. You know what? This guy with the bag over his head is mighty sketchy. I tell you what.
Judge, objection.
Hiding his identity from the court, I do believe that's illegal.
Judge, objection, subverting the jurors. I hold this be a mistrial.
Alright, well, are we done with this witness?
I am done with this witness.
I'm also done with this witness, Your Honor.
Get out of here. Alright.
I'm free.
The defense, you have not
Clearly.
presented a lot of evidence yet. Would you like to
Sure.
present anything else in your defense? We are getting ready for closing statements.
Actually, no, I would not. I feel
No more evidence.
There's-
Just your two
there's-
pieces and your witness.
there's no more evidence needed, as it clearly has yet to be solved, without shadow of a doubt, that my client has ever attempted to suck toes. The only thing we know is that potentially, based on a coworker's evidence of implausible vulnerability, that one might suck toes or hands or head in trying to entirely consume. And that is
Your
strictly
Honor, I would like to say I would have no
speculation.
problem if the defendant was trying to suck head. The problem here is toes.
Alright, that is enough out of you. For 2 seconds. Alright, anything else for the defense?
That is all for me, Your Honor.
Alright, you've pretty much submitted all your possible evidence, but is there anything else? I guess we'll move to closing statements, since the prosecution has no more
Now,
evidence to submit.
ladies and gentlemen of the court and the jury or lack thereof.
I'm the one-man jury here.
Today, that's why I said or lack thereof, Your Honor. Now, today I have shown that through multiple pieces of evidence that this defendant has, one, harassed me multiple times over online messages and internet comments, as corroborated by the defense themselves, and has crossed state lines using a fake passport.
Objection, Your Honor.
To attempt
This
to
is
suck on
closing
these
statements,
doggies.
your defense. You will have your chance to speak.
To suck on these doggies. As well as a impeccable character witness who did say that the defendant has a very strong fetish for vor. And one ways that he may attempt to do so and fulfill that fetish is by sucking toes. And then another witness has clearly said that they have seen this man at a location and been hunting for them dogs. Now, I believe that this should be enough evidence, more than enough, I do say, to find this man guilty and sentenced to death for being a whole ass wackadoo and weirdo.
All right.
Prosecution
Defense.
rests.
Closing statement.
Now, Your Honor, there have been several false claims about my client made so far. He has been called a wackadoo. His character has been defamed. He has been accused by a so-called detective who has yet to solve a single case. Now, are we to believe one detective and someone's description of what one might do had they been incapable of performing vor as it is not viable? Or, without any evidence that points towards my client actually performed said sucking of toes in the night, can we call an innocent man guilty for no good cause? Or are we just going to go off speculation of those who are frequently wrong and those who are just defining terms?
Alright, I'm ready to make my decision. Based on the evidence that the defense has provided that the defendant did not leave their home, and the prosecuting providing no evidence that the crime actually occurred, only a motive for the crime and a possible want to do the crime specifically to you, there has been no evidence to prove the crime actually occurred.
Your Honor,
There has just been personal attacks that have been unwanted across both benches. As in, I'll see my notes, we had a victim blaming, and the other one had a pearl toe ring.
That was
Not guilty.
excellent.
damn it.
He is a free man, Jimmy Dahmer.